The Trump administration are openly carrying out the orders of a thin-skinned, vindictive man who has never faced accountability for a single thing, all while daring to accuse the Biden administration of lawfare.
The Supreme Court is back and said that they rejected today an appeal by Ghislaine Maxwell to overturn her conviction. That means her only chance of getting out of prison is a pardon from you. Is that something you're...
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it. I would have to take a look. Did they reject that?
She wanted to appeal her conviction.
And what happened?
They said that they were not going to hear her appeal.
I see. Well, I'll take a look at it. I will speak to the DOJ. I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. So, but I'll speak. I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she be a candidate for clemency, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to speak to the DOJ. I'll look at it. I have a lot of people who have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
But she was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it. I'd have to ask DOJ. I didn't know they rejected it. I didn't know she was even asking for it, frankly.
What do you see here?
Well, I think this is a tragic day for America, not because Comey's perfect by any means, but what we have here is a clear vindictive prosecution, a clear selective prosecution. We have a president for the first time in history ordering his attorney general to indict his enemies. And the attorney general, instead of being the independent force that she's supposed to be, saying, yes, sir, how fast can I get that done for you? I think if she's concerned about justice for people who have misled the country, reflection on her confirmation proceedings is probably in order, because she talked about even-handed justice, and this is not that. I think that the case is subject to motions to dismiss for vindictive prosecution and selective prosecution. I think, likewise, it's a very weak case, at least based on what we publicly know, and we publicly know an unusual amount about this case. Yeah. Because of the Justice Department internal Inspector General's investigation, where he found the person that Comey allegedly authorized to leak the information not credible, and found that Comey was credible. So I think this is a very problematic case for the government to bring, but I think the way in which they brought it is problematic for the entire country. And this is either the end of the rule of law in America, or it's a tipping point against the authoritarian activity that we have seen from this president and his attorney general.
To be honest, I think that they all should get back to work and get the government open. And the fact that Johnson has his members out again for a third week, it makes one wonder, why aren't they negotiating? Why aren't his caucuses here? Normally, a lot of the negotiations in a shutdown take place one layer under the leadership. If they're not in Washington, they're not negotiating. So right now, Democrats are here. They want to talk about getting the government open. They want to talk about lowering health care costs. So it looks a little bit unreasonable for Republicans not to be here to have those negotiations. And the American people do want lower health care costs, just like they want lower costs on groceries and housing. So Democrats have a lot of strength right now in these negotiations. And I think it'd be wise for the Republicans to have these negotiations, get the government open, and get health care spending lower.
Who has he pardoned so far? Trevor Milton, the former CEO of an electric car company, was convicted of securities and wire fraud. During his appeal, he donated heavily to Trump's re-election campaign. Oh, and one of Milton's lawyers was the brother of Pam Bondi, the future U.S. Attorney General. Another pardon was for Todd and Julie Chrisley, fellow reality TV personalities. They were convicted of tax evasion and bank fraud totaling $36 million. Maybe the pardon has something to do with their daughter's speech at the Republican National Convention.
Donald J. Trump has only one conviction that matters, and that is his conviction to make America great again.
Your parents are going to be free and clean, and I hope we can do it by tomorrow.
Next up, Paul Walzak, a nursing home executive who was charged with defrauding the government of millions of dollars, using some of the money to buy himself a yacht. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 18 months in prison. A judge defended the sentence, saying there isn't a get-out-of-jail-free card for wealthy people. Not so fast, Your Honor. Walzak's mother is a major Trump donor who attended a $1 million plate fundraising dinner at Mar-a-Lago. Less than 3 weeks later, Trump signed a full and unconditional pardon for her son. Not only did it keep Walzak out of prison, it got him out of paying $4.4 million in restitution. In fact, Trump's thumb on the scales of justice has erased roughly $1.3 billion in fines and restitution that pardon recipients would have paid their victims and the government. And it's not just individuals either. The Trump administration has paused or dropped investigations into at least 17 corporations that donated to his inauguration fund. You see the pattern? Do something for Trump, and maybe Trump does something for you. Buttering up Trump has proven so lucrative, allies and lobbyists are reportedly receiving multi-million-dollar payouts to get pardon requests in front of the president. One was quoted as saying, "It's like the Wild West. You can basically charge whatever you want." Now, nearly every U.S. president has issued pardons that were controversial, but Trump's pardons almost exclusively go to people serving his political interests.
Mr. President, right now there have been survivors of Jeffrey Epstein speaking at a press conference on Capitol Hill. They're calling for these case files, these documents to be released. And Thomas Massey, who is sponsoring a discharge of physicians who get the House to vote on release those documents, says he doesn't believe you're implicated in these files, but many of your friends and donors may be, and he says that's why the Justice Department is redacting them and slow-walking the release. Is the Justice Department protecting any friends or donors, sir?
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had.
Jared L. Wise is a former FBI agent and pardoned January 6th rioter, and is currently working as a senior advisor in the Department of Justice, even though NPR obtained footage of him encouraging rioters to kill police during the January 6th insurrection. And if it feels like this administration is trolling you, they are. If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member. So you're probably wondering, why would I do that? Well, when you do that, you get access to bonus content that I make every single week, and it's a lot of fun. You get custom emojis and more. If you join at Tier 3, by the way, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself. And you'll get all that going forward, but you'll also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips and top 10 lists and debates and more. So what are you waiting for?